I ask you to make yourself proud. Do big things with your skills. Take on the challenges you see around you and stay away from behavior that may derail your career. Kenya is going places, and you are in the driving seat. The solution to the challenges we face in this country will come from inventive and entrepreneurial individuals and groups who look at our problems with fresh eyes and a transformative attitude. I have great faith that you are such transformers and will make your mark in our economy as you make tangible contribution to the greatness of our nation, because you have been trained to do exactly that. Let me say two final things. Congratulations to RBTTI for what I have witnessed, that you have set up the first competence training examination center that brings on board the institute and industry, that Ace Motors, Toyota Kenya will now be partners with RBTTI in making sure that we actualize competence-based learning, training, and examination. That is the climax, in my opinion, of this journey, because for a very long time, it has been difficult to actualize competence-based training. It's always been about paper examination, college learning. But now, with competence-based curriculum, it's going to be about skills and competencies and the transfer of those skills from class to industry. And that's really the climax of this endeavor. And I'm very proud that finally we can roll out competence-based curriculum, training, and examination. I'm also happy that, again, RBTTI has given us the opportunity to actualize one more thing: the recognition of prior learning. What is it, prior? The recognition of prior learning. That people who did not get an opportunity to come to a learning institution like this, but over time they have acquired skills, they can come and validate the skills they have acquired and be certified and given certificates, so that we can make this competence learning a continuous process, and we can also recognize those who already exist in industry. It is my request that other institutions around the country do the same, and both TVETA and SIDAC should provide the necessary infrastructure, policy, and regulation to ensure that these facilities are made available to those who are already practicing in this industry who did not get the opportunity to come to class. I also want to agree, and especially to congratulate Uasin Gishu County for what they are doing with their TVET strategy. Mr. Governor, I want to tell you that is the right direction to go, because the future is in TVET. You will never go wrong by investing your resources in technical training. In any case, today, as a nation, we are earning more foreign currency from the export of our brain power than we do from all the commodities that we export. We're earning more foreign exchange from our diaspora remittances than we are getting from coffee or tea or horticulture or all the other things that we are exporting. Meaning that investing in our human resource development is actually value for money. And therefore, any county, any society, any government that invests in its human resource is investing in the right direction. I want to tell you as young people that as you step out, as an administration, many people ask us many questions. And the answer to many of the issues that affect our country today is in our policy framework. The big four, and many people ask us, why, for example, housing? And maybe it is good for me to use this occasion to explain. When many people ask us, why housing? Why are you talking to us about building houses? Everybody has their own house. Why is the government of Kenya engaging in the exercise of housing? I want to tell you that housing is part of the strategy to answer the big question, not just of housing, but of unemployment in Kenya. And how so, if I may ask, or if somebody may ask me, how so? When we face the country and one of our biggest challenges is unemployment, we must think critically and with clarity on how to create jobs. Jobs will not arrive. They will not happen. As the Swahili say, ukiona vyaelea, ujue vimeundwa. So there must be a deliberate, purposeful strategy to create jobs for millions of our young people in Kenya. And that is why the government of Kenya has put as one of the president's big four, housing. And housing is supposed to answer several questions. It's supposed to answer the question of unemployment. It's supposed to answer the question of informal settlements and slums and proper housing. And it is also supposed to answer the question of land subdivision that is threatening our land that is supposed to be used for production. So it's supposed to answer those three items. We are in the tail end, concluding our discussions with Uasin Gishu County, because we have asked Uasin Gishu County to give us land for our housing program. And let me tell you how it's going to work. Mr. Governor, when you give us the 10 or 20 acres, we are going to assemble the necessary infrastructure for us to put up initially 5,000 houses in this Uasin Gishu County. For us to put up the 5,000 houses, statistics show us that we need at least 5 young people per house. So we will need 25,000 young people in Uasin Gishu County to help us with our housing program. And the 25,000 young people we need for that housing program is the masons that have been trained here, the carpenters that have been trained here, the plumbers that have been trained here, the masons that have been trained here, the many other fields that are necessary for our construction industry that have been trained in our TVET institutions. And therefore, we have the answer to our unemployment challenge as a nation through our housing program and through the training that we are doing in TVETs like this one. So the young people who are graduating from here, you should be assured that the very near future you will have something to do. I'm also happy that we are also engaging in diversification, because that's important. Diversification of our exports, so that we can grow the value addition, agro-processing, manufacturing sectors of our agro-based sectors, so that we can use that not only to drive job creation, but to create value and to create wealth by making sure that we have sufficient exports properly processed, so that we can earn more from what we are producing, both for our farmers and for our economy. I want to implore on the people of this county to continue the focus that has been undertaken by the county on diversification. This is originally a maize, wheat growing area, but diversification demands that we also do macadamia, avocado, coffee, and other diversified crops. And as a resident of this county, I am at the front on making sure that diversification takes place, because that's where the future is. I want to encourage more of the farming community here to keenly look at opportunity that is presented by the diversification initiative that has been undertaken by both the county and the national government, because it is important that we not only enhance our productivity, but we also target high-value crops that through value addition and agro-processing, we can be able to create more value, create more jobs, and earn more money. That's really where we should be going. I'm also happy to note that students from RVTTI who are training, and all the other technical training colleges around the country who are training in our health services sector, will also greatly contribute to the initiatives we have on our UHC to ensure that we eliminate the challenges in that sector. So again, let me say that as an administration and as the government of Kenya, we will continue to work with the county governments and all the stakeholders to ensure that TVET continues to generate the value it is supposed to generate. A request has been made earlier for the transfer of Kipkabus, which was not Kipkabus but Moiben, which was initially built as a teacher training college, so that we can transfer it to be a campus of Kenya Technical Training College. And I want to say that that activity will happen next week. And I have instructed the ministry concerned so that that exercise can be undertaken, and so that we can not only train more trainers for our TVET sector, but equip them with competence, curriculum, training skills, so that we can actualize competence training and be able to transfer skills as we transfer knowledge, and not just the usual examination passing. So I think that is what is important, and as I said, we will be looking at another opportunity in another part of the country to see whether we can, because this is going to be, TVET is going to be the future of training. I also want to say that shortly we will be assessing the unhealthy competition between TVET institutions and universities so that we can find a balance between what training is done by TVETs and what training is done by universities and what training is done by other institutions, so that there is no confusion, there is clarity, and there is synergy in the training of our human resource. And everybody and every sector can then be equipped with the necessary infrastructure to provide quality training in those sectors, rather than everybody becoming a jack of all trades and a master of nothing. I think that's really where we should be going. So with those many remarks, let me say again to the class of 2019, a very big congratulations. Thank you, sir.